Hey there. Welcome back to English Unveiled. I'm Elena. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a sentence and suddenly you stop? You freeze because you're not sure which little word to use. Is it in the bus or on the bus? Is it at Monday or on Monday? You hesitate, you guess, and sometimes you just hope nobody notices. This is called preposition anxiety, and you're not alone. These three little words, in, on, and at, are the hardest puzzle for almost every learner. But today, we're going to solve this puzzle. We're not going to memorize 100 boring rules. We're going to learn one simple visual system, a system that works for time and for place. By the end of this episode, you will stop guessing and start knowing. Ready? Let's begin. To master these words, I want you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine a shape. Imagine a triangle, but this triangle is upside down. It is wide at the top and very tiny at the bottom, like a funnel. This is our map. It organizes everything from general to specific. General means involving only the main features rather than the precise details. Specific means clearly defined or identified. Here is the system. The top part, the widest part, is in. In is for big things, general things. The middle part is on. On is smaller. It is more specific. And the tiny bottom point is at. At is for very precise, specific points. Keep this triangle in your mind. Big in, medium on, tiny at. Now, let's apply this to time. Let's look at time through our triangle. Level 1, the top, in. Remember, in is big. It is for long periods of time. Centuries, decades, years, seasons, months. We say in the 90s, in 2024, in summer, in July. These are big containers of time. Level 2, the middle, on. Now we get smaller. We look at specific days. The rule is simple. If the word ends with day, we use on. Days of the week, on Monday, on my birthday, on Christmas Day. And dates, on July 4th, because a date refers to one specific day. Level 3, the bottom, at. Now we are at the tiny point, the most precise time. This is for the clock, at 5 p.m., at noon, at midnight. It is a sharp point on the timeline. So let's review the rhythm. In a year, big. On a day, medium. At a moment, tiny. Now, the magic of this system is that it works exactly the same way for place. Let's bring back our upside-down triangle. Level 1, the top, in. In is for huge places with borders, continents, countries, cities, neighborhoods. We say in Europe, in Finland, in New York, in Manhattan. You are inside a big container. Level 2, the middle, on. Now we zoom in. We look at streets and surfaces. We say on Main Street, on Oxford Road. Think of a street as a line on a map. You are on the line. Also, we use on for surfaces, on the floor, on the table, on the second floor. Level 3, the bottom. This is the tiny point again. This is for specific locations or addresses. If you just say the street, it is on Main Street. But if you give the house number, it becomes at 12 Main Street, because now it is a precise point. We also use at for specific places when we talk about their function. at school to study, at the airport to travel, at the door. Now, I know what you are thinking. Elena, what about vehicles? Why do we say in a car but on a bus? This is the most confusing part for learners, but I have a secret trick for you. Ask yourself one question. Can I stand up and walk inside this vehicle? If the answer is yes, like a bus, a train, or a plane, you are on a platform, so we use on. On the bus, on the plane, on the train, on a ship. If the answer is no, you must crouch down and sit. You are inside a small container, so we use in. In a car, in a taxi, in a helicopter. Can you walk? Use on. Must you sit? Use in. Simple. Now let's test your new system. I will say a time or a place. You have 3 seconds to shout out the right preposition, in, on, or at. Trust the triangle. Number 1, which preposition for 9:30 a.m.? The answer is at 9:30 a.m., because it is a precise time on the clock. Number 2, which preposition for Tuesday morning? The answer is on Tuesday morning, because we are talking about a specific day. Number 3, which preposition for a taxi? The answer is in a taxi, because you cannot stand up and walk inside a taxi. Number 4, which preposition for Paris? The answer is in Paris, because it is a city, a big container. You see, when you have a system, you don't need to guess. You can build your sentence with logic. Logic means a proper or reasonable way of thinking about or understanding something. So here is your mission for today. Look at your calendar for your next meeting or event and say a full sentence about it using both time and place prepositions. For example, I have a meeting at 3 p.m. on Friday in the conference room. Try it. Feel the structure. And in the comments below, write one sentence about where you are right now. For example, I am in Brazil, or I am on the bus. Let's see where our community is. Thank you for learning with me today. Clarity is a skill you can build. Practice smart, and I'll see you next time.